Glory to Ukraine, glory to brave Ukrainian army. We will definitely win. Today Russia committed another terrorist act. Russia terrorist state hit Lviv and killed at least 5 people because rescue works and rescue teams are still doing their work, and we expect that there may be more. After the middle in the night, they hit residential multi-apartment building and destroyed 2 floors in several entries. People were sleeping in their beds, and then they joined the majority because of Russia terrorist state. People died from young women and men and some older. We continue to live. Everything that Russia does to keep us in fear, to keep us very nervous, very stressful, we are continuing to live. We continue to work our obligations, duties, to go to work, to perform our activities. Everyone who can do this, definitely, either in their house or maybe at some other places, in case they have had to leave their house, their homes, because of Russia invasion, of Russia war, of Russia genocide against Ukrainian nation, Ukrainian people. And let's go through a couple of varieties of roses which are growing in my garden, and I'll share this with you. I show you their beauty, share my impressions, and you will see why I am so impressed of these varieties. First one is Homage and Barbara or Heinz Winkler, and this is by Mailand, in case I'm not mistaken, but definitely by some French breeder. This is something between hybrid tea and shrub. It produces pretty big flowers. They are mostly 1 to 3 per branch, but maybe in clusters like this. Clusters also differ. They may be smaller, may be bigger, but still all of them will open. After this, maybe finish their flowering. Color, you can see camera showing it very naturally as it is. It's deep red, and it may be even more deeper closer to the sunset or prior to some thunderstorm or after the rainy weather. And we now see the signs of raining coming, so I maybe even not able to finish my video, but hope that I will finish it prior to the rain. The form of flower itself is very interesting. It's so festive as of me. It's very interesting, and flower multi-petals, and it has no perfume. It is, or maybe little or light smelling, but in general I would characterize it as non-absent. Flowers on the bush, they live pretty long, definitely more than a week, and then they will lay down by themselves. So it's self-cleaning bush, self-cleaning variety, and that's why it's very, very easy in taking care. Really very very hardy, very resistant, very generous blooming, long-lasting blooming, and self-cleaning. I would say this is just a variety of a dream. And it's taken into account that it flowers, it blooms in waves throughout the seasons. Here in Lviv it blooms 2 waves. 2 distinct ways, but maybe in south of Ukraine, southern areas of Ukraine, I think these waves maybe even 3. I'm not sure, but I guess so. So maybe you living in some southern areas of your country, please share your thoughts. In what climate, how long it blooms. I see some signs or defects. This may be related to some rainy weather, but in general, rains and raining, it does not influence this variety much. But of course, some flowers can be influenced, but in general, blooming is still very bright, very vivid, and this variety, it is definitely vivid, definitely eye-catching, and almost everyone who see this flower, this variety, this rose in my garden, they then want it for themselves, and most of them already planted it, or something like this, like malicorn rose. It's also pretty similar to this one. Yeah, bush is pretty compact, I would say, up to 1 meter for now, height and width. Yeah, the same. It's pretty. Grows pretty strictly up, and it has some thorns, not so often, but still pretty thorny. It depends from branch to branch, yeah, and it can be used for the vase, I think, for buckets, because it's not so oftenly thorned, right? Yeah. What to say about this variety more? I like it. Yeah, I love it, and I would recommend it, and I am happy I planted it in my garden. Another one, this is Acropolis. I think this is the same breeder, or at least a French one, and it is famous because of its varying color palette. It can be coral salmon one, and then during flowering it became with some shades of creamy green and different shades of green color. It also grows in multi-flowering, and flowers last pretty long on the bush as well. They can be influenced by humidity more, like Heinz Winkler. As you see, this central flower was destroyed, and not destroyed but damaged by the humid rainy weather, but still other flowers, the whole cluster is still proceeds to bloom. Yeah, I will pick this off, and you see this cluster is still pretty nice one. Sorry for windy, maybe gust of wind behind my back, so maybe microphone will not cope with such gusts. And one more variety, but this is Catalina, but it is already influenced by long-lasting humidity, and of course I should demonstrate it more earlier than now, because it has only a couple of flowers with great a nice look. So I will show you these nice looking flowers of Catalina. Why I like this variety? Because of its interesting bright yellow color. This is maybe butter yellow, but still very like lightning from the middle of the flower until the outer part of it. It starts in pretty intense yellow, but then during flowering it became more creamy white. Not creamy white, but creamy citron, creamy lemon yellow, something like that. Pretty softer and pretty lighter than it's at the beginning. It grows in clusters, as you can see. Yeah, every cluster it may be from 5 and even more. Flowers itself, they are pretty long lasting. They may be more than a week on a bush, but definitely they lose their effectiveness, they lose their decorativeness in case there will be humidity and continuous raining. Concerning sun, I think it will not influence much Yeah, I have not caught signs of some damage made by sunny weather, by hot weather. So I think, yeah, humidity and rain, they are more devastating for these flowers, for this variety. Yeah, this cluster is very pretty good, pretty nice. Definitely this back one, it's already more influenced, but these three central ones, they are still very decorative. You can see how it's peony like, how it's cupped, something like bubbles. We have also series of bubbles roses here, and many people like this series. It already has some signs of diseases, I guess black spot, Marsonina, yeah, and it definitely has this disease from season to season, and I treated this variety as others as well. But still, signs will be, and till autumn or till closer to the season, to the end of the seasons, these signs of diseases will be very big and very expanded. So yeah, please see how it's in reality, not on the picture, but how color is, how form the flower is, how form of the cluster of this variety is, and bush itself is pretty compact. It's as you see, sorry for such non-decorative flowers on this bush, but still you can see, and imagine how this form looks like. And it was planted in autumn 2020. So it's the third season in my garden, and it's still pretty compact, not so high, not so wide, but bringing and presenting a lot of joy during flowering, during blooming. And I know there are already different Catalinas. This is, I think, original Catalina, but we already have red Catalina, white Catalina, and I think even more. Yeah, new varieties are bred, and we are growing them, planting them in our gardens to bring at least some happiness and joy to our souls and minds during these hard and very frustrated times, very dangerous times in Ukraine. Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for sharing your thoughts and your impressions about the same varieties growing in your gardens. Would be grateful for any activity under the video. Yeah, till the next video, and bye.